Alright, what we're going to do today is we're going to test our iPhone versus camera. Recently, we've been on some content visits where we've been utilizing the iPhones a lot more in our shoots versus just a camera, and for good reason, because iPhones are almost just as good in some areas as cameras nowadays, especially for turnaround times and just recording in general. When it comes to photography, I would disagree, and I would say that a camera is going to be far more better than a smartphone in general. But that said, what we're going to do is we're going to test 1080p versus 4K on an iPhone. Then we're going to test iPhone versus camera quality to see if we need to switch up and just do camera on each shoot, or if we can still keep this ebb and flow between iPhone and camera going. Because like I said, with an iPhone, it's a lot easier to just come back and in post create what we need to create straight from the iPhone. So we're using Maria's phone. We're using another camera, and then Maria's gonna be recording this the whole time.
Hi.
Non-stop. Okay. So real quick, I forgot to mention, hey Maria, that we're also going to be testing different types of lighting. We're going to use the light box, Ambifull. So we're also going to be testing Amaron 200X.
So right now we're going to try out the iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Yup.
And the camera settings are HC30, and we're going to be trying this new feature where you can choose when the lens is going to be a micro lens or the regular lens. Okay, so if we're gonna go ahead and press the micro lens so you can see how
I'd say let's just do like a left to right on each of them.
detailed. Now it's Devin's turn with the camera.
The main thing, so we're going to try and use the camera now, is the A7 III with a 28 to 70 millimeter 3.5 to 5.6 kit lens. Basically what that means is at 28 millimeters I'm able to bring my aperture down to 3.5, but if I bring it up to 70 I'm only able to bring my aperture down to 5.6. This 85 millimeter 1.8 lens, Sony lens, we got this for macro photography and videography, mostly photography, but what we found out was that it does very well for the lens that it is, but it only doesn't have a very good focus distance, so as the more I come in, the more blurry it's going to get as I get closer. It's just not going to be as good for shooting between this and an iPhone. iPhone is going to beat this because you're able to get a lot closer and you're able to use that macro lens on the iPhone. It's going to be better for quick turnarounds, content visits, stuff like that. So again, the best thing to do would be to get a lens that can handle a short focal distance. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and, outside of using the light box, which you only get so much room to work with, you only have the light, which is here on the front left and the very front middle. You only get so much direction with the light box, although you get the nice white background. You don't get to control much of the lighting yourself, so we're going to try and use this. I didn't say it earlier, this is a MS30L light. Pretty sure we just got this on Amazon for pretty cheap. This is the Ambifull light. These are nice. You can choose different colors with these. Usually, especially with rings, we'll just choose the regular white because we want it to look nice and crisp and clean. Some of the main things to realize from light to light is the intensity. So the Amaron 200X is going to beat these two by miles. So I want to do a quick comparison because they're all at 55. So they're all at 5500, and this one is at 20%. These two are both at 100. So far you can already tell this Amaron 200X is going to kill these two in intensity and lighting. So it just goes to show like how much powerful a good light can be. Second thing to consider too is the diffusing of the lights. So you can see on the Ambifull A2. You have some diffusion on the front, so the light, when it touches the skin or touches an object, it's not going to be as harsh as like this MS30L because there's not much diffusion, it's just straight light. There's a little bit, but not much. Right now, there's nothing on the Amaron to diffuse the light, so it's going to be really harsh if you're using this light. So what that's going to do is just going to give it some light on the back of the ring versus not having anything. I also changed the angle a little bit of the light because I moved it, but you're going to get a little bit of reflection. It's also going to even out. Get a macro. The other thing too is those pictures just kind of showing the light that we have going on right now. The room is completely dark right now versus some light coming from a room. So